Hey everybody. So we're going to start off this week's lectures by looking at our website layout a little bit more. Up to this point, we've been mostly working with controllers and building views for those controllers, but let's start looking at the default template website that came with our ASP.NET MVC project, and let's see if we can do some work on this to make it a little more user-friendly and that we don't have to type in URLs all the time. So what we're going to start by doing is adding a sign in button up here into the address bar. Now to do that, we go into our project. I've actually got it running right now, so let me stop it. We'll go into our project and we'll want to go to views, and then we'll find a folder called shared. And inside of here are common views that you would use throughout your entire project. So just a reminder, we have a views folder, and we have a folder in here for each one of our controllers up to this point. And then there's also this one called shared. So if we open up shared, we'll find an underscore layout.cshtml, and this document is the layout document for our what I like to call the theme or the chrome of the website. So our header and all our footer and all of our common elements in our site design all live inside of underscore layout. What you'll see in this page is essentially an HTML document, and most of the content should look rather familiar to you. You have a doc type, a HTML tag, a head tag, body tag, div tags, and so forth. There are some additional C# or Razor elements in here, such as anything with an @ symbol in front of it. So we have what's called the styles render, the scripts render, and these are referring to bundles, which we'll talk about in a later video series. We have HTML action links, which you should be at least relatively familiar with, but basically what's happening there is we're creating a link to a particular action. So this is the application name that shows up on our home page. This links to the index action of the home controller. We also then have a nav bar area here, and that nav bar includes the home, about, and contact links, and these all point to the same home controller in different actions. So what we want to do is we want to extend this nav bar area by adding our own link, and our link will be to sign in. We'll come here and we'll put in a li tag, and we're actually following a Bootstrap template. So the way that Bootstrap wants you to lay this out is to use the ul li combination. So we'll do that li tag, and then we'll do @html dot, and then we want to choose action link. And what that does for us is that we pass in an action and a controller and the name of the link that we want presented, and it takes that, interprets it, figures out where we are relative to that action and controller, and then we'll generate the appropriate a tag for us. So we'll make an action link and we'll call it login, and this will point to the login action of our account controller. So we'll go ahead and save that and run again. And we'll now see that we have application name, home, about, contact, and login. So we can click on login, and that will take us to our login view. So that's the process of setting up basic links up here inside your address bar. If we wanted to go and change this application name, we can also do that. We can jump in here and look back for that first action link. This is application name, and I'm just going to call it my Gantos app. I'll save those changes. I'll come back and refresh. And since I'm making only view changes, I can change the view without having to do a rebuild or recompile. And then those changes get picked up by Visual Studio and ASP.NET, and they get presented right here. So that's how you would make basic changes to your navigation. We can make additional changes to the same view page. So down here near the bottom, let me kind of just explain a few other things about the view. So you can see here that we have a div tag with a body render. Basically, this body render function takes any content that we put into our action views, and that's where it gets rendered, is right in between these two, this div tag essentially, between this div tag and what's going on here with the rest of the content. There's also the footer area, which you'll see is down at the bottom of the page. So it says copyright whatever the current year is dash my ASP.NET application. So if you want to change that, you can put in your name there and put in the name of your application. So you can customize this however you'd like. If you prefer vertical nav versus horizontal nav, you can make appropriate changes here to allow that to happen. But this is the Chrome or the template for your ASP.NET pages.